actually what I was going to start out by asking was just maybe you guys wanted to recap what exactly went on last week.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
I
two
think.
weeks ago. Yeah, you're right. Last week I was in Nexus. That's what went on. So I'll let you guys go because it works better if you guys
What happened
say
was
it.
we set everything on fire, and then we ran around, and then we discovered a secret place with Cthulhu.
Well,
That's what
yeah.
happened.
I found a spell.
That's how I remember it.
I remember there was a lot of fire.
And a lot of burning. All right, yeah, and so so in fact, yeah, if I remember correctly, we had just stopped where you had kind of turned around a corner, and there was the big old giant
Blood
version of it.
pond.
Yeah, the pond with the big thing the size of a car and looking damn ugly in the middle of it.
Do we get new fate points, by the way?
Oh yeah, yeah. Let me go ahead and take care of that. Where is the card deck? There we go. Recalling all the cards and shuffle and deal everybody 3.
Hello again.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
I was trying to say before that apparently what happened last time we played was that Val had a stroke and burned the world.
So and then if I remember correctly, Brian, you just did a self invoke, a self compel rather. So I'm giving you that extra fate point for that. And okay, so looks like okay, so I've got that all set. All right, so let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. So, um,
What about when we lost? Like I have a -1 to sanity.
yeah, all that stuff does is still out there. That's in the. I think the -1 is like only uh, sorry, just kind of drawing in where the zones and stuff are. The -1 only applies to uh, making the sanity checks. So it's -1 to will, but only for the purposes of sanity checks.
Is that forever?
No, only until you get a good night's sleep.
Copy.
Sorry, that I'm just denoting that this little pathway is like one zone, and then out here where the monster is one zone, and then the back in the room is another one. Okay, so I think so you were, if memory serves, Brian, you were back here, like out of the way, a little where I put the little XC little thing because I can't draw. Yeah, you're out of the way back there because you were claustrophobic. And you're like, I ain't going in there, buddies. And then I think everybody else was in the passageway.
I haven't seen anything you've drawn yet. I don't even know where you're at.
Oh, sorry. I'm down towards the bottom of the page where I drew out
Right.
the hidden door in the fireplace and
So I think I remember it was Constantine that took point this time.
right.
Because Lazar just took a score of like a briefcase full of money, and he wasn't keen on risking his life anymore.
Right, yeah. So, let's see. That's right. Okay, so yeah, so at this point, that big ass monster is out there, and so I think it's time for people to take actions. Let's see. So who's? Sorry, we had established this at some point, but who does have the highest survival? Let's see here. Val's got
I
a
think
2.
Yeah, I have 3. I have good survival,
Okay, yeah, I think you're the survivalist.
and also Constantine I think has what? You have 1?
I think he's got a 1. I'm looking at
Oh.
everybody while I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, you've got a 3. Val's got
Yep.
a 2. The other 2 guys have a 1. So, Lazar, you are free to move if you want. You can like hold off if you want to, wait until like after Louis or whatever.
So I'm looking at a blood pond with a giant plant with tentacles in it.
Right. And then there's the little red bar parts are bits of ochre. And I'm also saying it's not particularly well lit.
Uh-huh. But we have flashlights?
Yeah, you guys have. We're carrying flashlights in. That's my flashlight.
And I have a grenade.
Yes, you do.
Thank fuck.
Yeah. By the way, the monster is large, so it does have scale on you guys. So
Right.
an item like a grenade would be the kind of thing that you would use to reduce the scale.
I can't remember what else we've got in terms of advantages. I don't remember. We didn't set anything up, right?
No, nothing's really been set up. Of course, Val's got the Ring of Fire thing that he created that he's carrying. Louis got.
Expensive, pieces of paper that I handed out.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember Val also got a bunch of herbicide now that I read the chat.
Well, let's hope that he's able to resolve his technical difficulties then.
Right.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now we can. I think I'm gonna hold
Okay.
off for now.
Okay, you're gonna wait. Okay.
Yeah. Because I don't like. I think others have a better way of setting up advantages. So I'll wait.
So Johnny, this thing is a plant, correct?
It looks like it is a. It's not a plant like you've ever seen. Plants tend not to, attach themselves to humans and then take over human bodies. But sure, it's like a
fair
plant.
enough.
It's
Well, that's why I went for the herbicide earlier.
right.
It's in water right now, so I would want to load the Ring of Fire with herbicide.
Okay. Right. You can. We can assume that that's just one of the things you got loaded. So if you want to use it or whatever, you can.
Okay, so I had a 2, so I'm not the first act, right? Is somebody else
Artem decided he was going to wait.
He's going to hold his action?
Right.
Then I'll fire a ring of herbicide into it.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I think that's going to be enough to cause scale. So, okay. So you're just going to go ahead and fire that. All right. Go ahead and.
So that's a shoot at +1, I guess.
Right.
Okay. And 3.
Oh,
Yeah. So you can spend fate points to. Well, I think it's going to take 3 fate points to beat that.
Oh, I see. You rolled a +5.
Yes. Yeah. It's pretty big.
Oh, and I rolled a I was looking at yours and thought it was mine. Holy crap. Okay.
You do have free invokes. You can, you can use the free invoke on the herbicide. That's still you're still gonna need 2 more successes to get past that. But
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I can use.
we get to cooperate as well, don't we? If I can find a plausible way, can I spend a fate point helping him?
Well, in his turn, he has to be the person who spends the fate points, basically, to give his own boosts. What you can do, before you go to make a shot or whatever, is you can create advantages to put those free invokes on the table so that he could invoke those when he wanted to. For
Johnny,
instance, he's got herbicide as a free invoke.
Okay, because what I was thinking was that, like, the -1, that means that, it's not going that well, is it? So, what if Val has trouble, aiming this unwieldy, big, unreliable weapon, and Constantine kind of steadies it, grabs it and steadies it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to use the herbicide. The weapon is, I think, +2, so I wouldn't need to spend 3 fate points to catch it.
No, plus two
That's
means
damage. I see.
plus two's to damage after you've exceeded the roll.
Okay. So, I think, I mean, I could miss.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. So you shoot it, and you're kind of running in there. It's a little bit on the scary side, and yeah, the herbicide kind of clatters off the top of the roof of this thing, and kind of goes down and does nothing. All right. So
The only thing I suggest is that there may be a pool of poison somewhere on the floor now. If we can back it into it or something later.
Yeah, it's not going to be obviously it's not an advantage, but yeah, I kind of like that idea. I'm going to see what I can. I'm going to bounce out like here. We'll call that the poison pool. Look at my writing. It's so good. Poisson.
Your
Okay.
drawings are even better.
Yeah, I'm a good artist.
Well, they look like some kind of an anatomy lesson.
I'm not going to draw what I was going to draw in response to that. So, all right, Artem, you want to do anything now?
I was trying to figure out how I could maybe use something to set up an advantage.
Did the rest of us get to do something as well?
Yeah, I mean, Artem, he had deferred his first move, so
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
was
kind of periodically asking him. And this is a big lumbering thing, so it's not moving quickly. So
Well,
that's the creeper animation.
No, I still have nothing. Like I was thinking about maybe using mechanics in some way to create an advantage for anybody who's going to shoot it. But I don't have anything in. All you've got is a rifle, a bunch of money, and a grenade, and a knife.
Right. Well, I mean, I
Can't
think
MacGyver anything that
right. Yeah.
Can't
Well, and
you
I think
just lob the grenade at it?
Yeah, but I was thinking like it's a big thing. So if I only have one grenade. If I'm going to use a grenade, I better have. So there's what is this rat poison thing?
huh?
There's rat poison as an advantage.
Yeah,
I also had rat poison and insecticide as
Oh, right.
items that I could load into the gun.
And the mystery batch is what?
I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Who's cooked up the mystery batch? Do you get?
Johnny on my behalf.
Yeah, he just made a bunch of stuff, and I had that in there for fun.
Out of which ingredients?
Hence mystery.
We don't even know what the ingredients are.
No, he just when we were at the other place, he scrounged a bunch of ingredients to make stuff. And
Yeah, I
he
think
makes-
like just kind of
Like,
as
is
a
it-
general
Is it like
sense.
Caesar? Is it napalm? What am I dealing with here? A really good sandwich?
I think
could
you're
be.
overthinking it.
The can
Right.
was just
Will
labeled-
it explode if I throw it with the grenade? Is my question.
Maybe.
We don't know. All right. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna chuck my grenade.
All right.
Sure, why not? This is something Lazar would do probably.
Okay.
So- and
All right,
what
so
do I
you're-
use to? Is it?
So yeah, so in doing that, I'm assuming you guys are also kind of running out into the. I mean, you can't really do much from the cavern, so you can't really even hardly see it from the cavern. So I assume that you guys are running out into the into this place here to engage with it.
Oh, I think running out is overstating what my character would be doing.
Well, yeah, going out. I mean, moving into that area to engage
What
with
I-
it.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to grab a bunch of herbicide, attach it to the grenade, and then chuck the grenade.
So grabbing the herbicide and attaching it to the grenade sounds like it's
Is
a
an
separate.
action, right?
Yeah, that would be a separate move. So
let's do that.
okay, so yeah, that's going to take a demolitions roll to kind of jerry rig everything together.
All right.
So shouldn't be too hard to do. So I'm going to say +1 to beat. Okay, yeah, looks like you did that. So you did that easily, in fact. So that is actually enough to get the one.
So can we call it herbicide grenade now?
Sure. I'll just add that.
Where is everybody else? I mean, you have me X'd out.
They're in the. Well, they were in the. Well, Artem actually. So yeah, Artem had to have been following Val. So Val and Artem are now both in the room with the creeper, and then Louis hasn't moved yet.
Is it visible from my location, or is that I'm not sure how long?
It curves around, so you can't really see it from where you are. So you're a little bit removed. You can't see what it's seeing, but you can see the guys running out at it. That's what I was doing. Sorry, blah blah blah. Where did my? Oh, there we go. Okay. That's right. Herb grenade. Yeah.
A little bit of herb.
I think they have those in Amsterdam.
I think so. I think we tried that.
All right. Okay, so you fashioned your herb grenade. It's got the 1 free invoke because you succeeded with it. Okay, Louis or Brian?
I'm kind of powering out in the beyond the hallway, deciding whether or not I can venture into it or not. I got the point, but I might have to spend it to get through that hallway. So why don't you go ahead?
All right. Well, Constantine flicks his lighter into the puddle of herbicide.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if it's actually. I guess we'll ask Val. Do you think that is flammable?
I think we just lost him again.
Oh, darn it.
But it's herbicide. It's pretty likely to be flammable, I think.
Would be kind of funny if it wasn't, and you just kind of assumed due to your native overconfidence that it was, and you just spent a turn putting out your just dousing something in the fire.
But my native overconfidence.
You've got the where we go? Sorry, I'm looking you up. I know you've got.
No, that's Val's over.
That's Val's, isn't it? Damn it.
Constantine has daddy issues.
Yeah, he's got not the fortunate son. More balls are thrown in the air. Darn it. Okay, well, it seemed like a nice idea to give you a fate point, but I can't think of how to do it. So, all right. Okay, so we can.
Well, it is very hard for him to lose. It's his only lighter.
Right.
He's going to need a smoke after this.
Is it something that he actually got as a gift from his dad?
That's actually, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so your dad's lighter, you've kind of been relying on it, but it's kind of a piece of crap.
It's like when his dad threw it at him like years ago when he was little and when he only had his daddy to fall back on, and he would huddle with it for warmth at night.
When this is all over, I think we should get you some therapy.
You're like, Dad, you've never helped me my entire life. Help me now. And it just goes out.
This is the 40s, though, Artem. No one got therapy. They just got, like, liver cirrhosis.
And they had Freudian.
Freud was already Freudian method. Yeah, you could get your analysis on.
Yeah.
Like.
Right.
Probably took a while for that to catch on, though.
So I just gave you a fate point, so.
Well, thank you.
Daddy's lighter.
Yeah, whoops! There it went.
Light the way.
Now it's a pool of poison with a lighter in it.
Just wait. This will get really interesting when at the end he tries to light a cigarette with the ring of fire.
That'll be fun too. Brian, you now.
We've decided that it burns.
Is it burning? Okay, well.
I think so.
Well, I just gave Louis a fate point, so that basically kind of, I think my
Oh wait, was that the trade-off?
yeah, my compel was that I gave you the fate point so that you could throw that in there, and it didn't really do anything.
Oh wow,
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
fair enough.
All right, so okay, Brian. So mechanically, you spent that fate point. I'm gonna say that spending it to like hesitate and like have to steal up your courage to run through the place is I think enough to earn that fate point. Mechanically speaking, to move two zones, what's that called? That would take an athletics roll in order to do, and that would basically be your move.
Oh, so you're saying you don't believe I do need to spend a fate point to get through there, or I do? I mean,
no, you don't. What I'm saying is that I gave you the fate point because you got claustrophobic and you didn't want to go into the little cramped area. What I'm saying is that the fact that you kind of had to miss a turn and you're back in order to do what I think
Basically,
is,
to rejoin us, you have to roll.
right. Well, yeah, I mean, basically,
That's your penalty.
well, yeah, that's yeah. What I'm saying is that was I think that's enough to give you the fate point for what you have to do. But what you do have to do is if you want to get all the way up to the room with the creeper in it, is you need to make an athletics roll to get into that.
Copy that. All right. And I'm just doing that as a normal human.
Okay. And it's +1 to hit.
Do I?
Oh, yeah, that's not good.
Did you forget to tie your shoelaces?
Yeah, you stumble on the ochre on your way there.
I kind of like that the cave is still scaring the crap out of me, but
You're like, oh god!
yeah.
You kind of freak out. You start like running into the wall down here. Okay. Oh man, and now it's the creeper's turn, and I feel bad about this because Val's got the big weapon that has been the only thing that's been even thinking about doing any damage to it, and I'm about to. It makes
Val's
sense.
not here.
Right, that's the thing. It makes sense for the creeper to go after Val.
Can we give him a minute?
Yeah, let's go ahead and.
Is there any
Wait
other
here.
way, other form or something? Somebody else can maybe get some communication going with him?
Yeah, I don't know. There's the
It would be a
Reverend.
bit harsh. Welcome back, Julian. By the way, Fal's dead.
But
Well, I messaged Rev, but I don't know if he's joining us. Didn't reply. I think
Yeah, I
he
guess
feels
that's
like
true,
he
too.
missed too much to participate, but I don't think that's really true.
right, yeah, and as far as I know, he had said like, yeah, I'll join you next time. Like, these don't really work in terms of like quote unquote times. Like, I
What?
mean, I'm thinking we're probably going to be wrapping this particular chapter up this this session, but that doesn't mean that the next one's not going to be based right off of it.
I'm assuming that, I mean, okay, if the chunks of human flesh on the ground are in fact the guy that's missing,
Not all human.
huh?
I think it's not necessarily human. That's your own supposition.
No, didn't we establish that some of them were recognizably human? I thought we did.
I think we might have said that some of them were, but there are a lot of them are definitely cattle. I mean, not that you can
Yeah,
really
sure,
tell that,
but I mean, the interesting part was that we recognized some of them as human, if I remember right.
right.
Now, how would we establish if they're like? Would we be able to establish them as our quarry in some way? Right here and that, or basically right there in the cave, or would we have to take it back and do
Well,
like
while
some
we're
kind of-
facing this massive killer plant, just go, oh, hey, wait.
No, I'm yeah, I don't think.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Oh, there's Val. What I was thinking is we kill this thing, and then we have to collect samples or do some CSI crap.
Well, that can be a bridge that we can cross when we get to it.
All right.
If we get to it.
Yeah,
I'm
theoretically,
pretty
you guys could have
confident
done
in our
that,
abilities.
but you're all dead. Okay, are you back, Val? looks like you are. I see your little microphone. Okay, good. Okay, great. Okay, so
You're about to get attacked.
yeah,
Congratulations.
I didn't want to do it while you were gone because it's too fun otherwise.
Yay.
Okay, so all right, so so this thing is giant, massive vines and crap. Like it kind of pops out a little like seed pod from the middle of it, and it is going to shoot it at you, Val.
Yay.
Yeah, hooray!
Yes. Okay.
So it's a survival against that.
Okay, I don't have my character sheet out right now. I think I had survival +2.
Let me double check that for you. Your character sheet, by the way, is all written in the Roll20 page. Yes, your survival's +2.
Okay. Yes, I've switched computers.
Oh wow, nice roll.
Nice.
Okay, so so you
was
start to dodge, but you slip on some ochre. So that brings me up to 5, which is a tie. And then now let's see. Oh, that's right.
Ignore that, Johnny. I'm sorry. Don't. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm sorry. Looking through. Oh, that's right. And then just using its weird, cunning intelligence, which may or may not be an aspect of it, it kind of leads you into a corner so it can tag you. So, it's now up to 7. You can spend fate points or whatever to tie or to get back.
Okay, so I can't use the herbicide. I'm trying to get my character sheet to come up so that I can actually look at my
Yeah,
stuff.
Can you look at it in Roll20 or?
I'm trying to. It's there we go. Okay. So it's firing you said a seed pod at me, right?
Right.
So I'm not going to be able to use this stunt. I guess maybe I'm thinking about my morbid ingenuity and whether if I can use that. I've got the ring of fire. It doesn't actually need anything in it to fire off, just air. So maybe I can not have it loaded with any payload, but just fire at the incoming pod to direct it against the wall or away from me.
All right. Yeah, you could spend a fate point to invoke the object like that. Sure.
Okay.
All right. So you're tied again. Let me see what I can do.
I tried to drag a card out. It did. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. All right. So so we're tied at 7 again. All right. So you kind of blow it. You blow where you think it's going to go off guard. Unfortunately, the area is not particularly well lit, so it's kind of hard to see exactly where that seed's coming from. So it actually it managed to correct for it and ended up blowing it on you after all.
Oh, you did more fate, or?
Yes, yeah. I spent another fate point.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can do because I don't really want to get hit. Yeah, I can't think of anything else that I'd be able to do right at the moment.
All right. So are you're gonna accept the roll then?
I guess I don't have anything else that I can do.
All right. So just by the way, just wanted to note that for future reference is actually, I'm noting this specifically because it doesn't apply to this combat. A lot of the times, most of the time in combat, you can choose like before we start to roll, and actually before any roll is made, not before any roll for the combat's made, but like before like somebody's about to attack you, you can concede and allow yourself to be taken out of the combat. That means that you don't die or have like the worst things happen to you necessarily. It doesn't apply to like situations like this where you're fighting like a mythos creature or something that isn't going to let you live necessarily. I just wanted to point that out because the stakes are a little bit higher than maybe they'd normally be in a fight. In any case, so
Can I
this
ask
thing.
a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Just to get this clear for myself, like when something like that is going on, like the pod and Val trying to dodge it with all the rules.
Right.
So there's no way, unless we create an advantage in advance, there's no way for any of our characters to help him.
Right. I mean, he can, if you've got some kind of like aspect on your sheet that he can invoke somehow.
I gave him a defensive aspect.
What was that?
I handed him a defensive aspect earlier.
Right,
Oh,
you
the
gave him
paper.
that boost, right. Oh, good point. Yeah, so... Yeah,
That is an
boost.
excellent point.
Okay, so that ties everything up again.
So it's not possible to, for example, if you see that one of your party members is about to get punched, there's no way to invoke, I'll just name something like fast reflexes, if that is your aspect.
You can run out in front of them and basically take the hit for them.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, you can't like spend your fate points to increase their roll, basically.
Okay.
All right. So so you did get that. So it's back to being tied again. Double check. Sorry. God damn it! I forgot to bring my fate book in, so I'm using the SRD today. The online book. Pretend that I'm giving you guys a really great narrative. Oh wow, John, you're great. Just kidding.
Oh wow, John, you're great.
You sold that, and you sold it hard.
It's okay, John.
I wish he was, selling the actual storytelling quite as hard as that.
Wow. How dare you, sir?
You invited that, come on.
Come on. I'm looking for conflicts. That's what I needed.
Okay, I'm going to do something crazy and attempt video because I'm now practically on top of my router. So if I go away, I shall return in a moment.
Copy.
Right.
All right.
Oh no. Go ahead
That
and back
works.
the way it was.
All right.
So I take it your connection is acting up.
I'm at my father-in-law's place, and his connection is meh.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just have to. I guess I'll have to live with the tie. Because I don't really have a lot more that I can use either.
Aside from a desperate urge to murder your players. I mean their characters.
This is much better than murdering. Well, it's a tie, so it does hit you, but like it just falls off of you, and you can see as it's falling off, there's like little tendrils coming out from the seed.
Oh, fuck.
So it's kind of there writhing on the ground in front of you. Okay, so Artem, your turn again.
Right. So I'm throwing the grenade.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that should get you scale. I think that's grenade's going to be a weapon +2. Okay, so go ahead and roll then.
Which?
It would be athletics to try and hit it.
Oh shit, that's not good.
I
Yeah,
It's
this,
big though. Like
well,
how could you miss?
It's big, but this thing is like it is giant and it shrugs these things off really really well. That's kind of basically its thing. It's just like it's.
And I'm using the herb grenade, which is an advantage, right?
You can, yeah. I mean, that would give you up to a tie, so you would get a boost. Oh, actually, that reminds me.
But could he theoretically could
and
that
also,
be to re-roll as well?
Yeah, you could use that to re-roll in this case since you did get a -3.
But
no, I got a -3. You got a. Yeah, I don't think you'd want to necessarily re-roll because.
But there's also, let's blow stuff up aspect that I've got.
Sure, if you want to spend a fate point, you can definitely spend.
I definitely want to spend a fate point here.
Okay, so you are. Okay, so you are. Not thinking. Okay, so you're using the herb grenade. To get you up to 2, and then you're spending the fate points to get you up to 4. So you made it by 4, so that's plus. So you made it by 4 then, okay? Sorry, you made it by 2 plus the weapon does an additional 2 damage, so it's plus 4. Okay then, so that does its thing. Whoops.
Did I hurt it?
Yeah, it like lets out this plant-like shriek. I don't even know what that sounds like, but it does a plant-like shriek. I mean, it frankly doesn't look like. I mean, you did a good amount of. I mean, that shot would have killed like any person that you threw the grenade at, but it kind of went in the midst of its vines and maybe blew off some of those vines, but. Doesn't look like it did anything necessarily super duper lasting to it.
Let me ask you this. All right. Is there a concept like damage over time in this game?
You can create.
Can I convert? Like, can we basically trade off because it's a herbicide? I'm assuming that it should do damage over time without me actually doing stuff.
If you succeed with style, you can add a you can add you can add an advantage in place of 2 points. You didn't succeed with Sally. You actually only won by 2, so you'd have to find some way to spend another fate point in order to do that.
Okay. No, Well, okay, so I do have an aspect, I know, going from Gollum, right? So that's kind of like Jewish mysticism knowledge.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if this is necessarily a monster that you've seen in the Jewish mythos.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it's probably not applicable.
Didn't I tag this thing already last week? Or no, that was the other creature.
No,
yeah,
that was
the right.
You shot the in the pink thing. Yeah, that was the zombies.
In there, I'll look for
the amazing pink thing.
Yeah, keep looking for the pink thing. Sometimes it's a little difficult to find.
All right. I mean, so it did something. It doesn't look like, it's not like, having troubles moving or anything, unfortunately, but because it is a big ass monster.
An ass monster. Well, you didn't tell us that.
Well, there you go. It casts its farting spell on you. Okay, so that goes to Val.
Okay, well, I think it's time to load the incendiary bomb into the ring of fire.
All right.
And take another blast at it, aiming to set it upon fire.
Okay. All right. So yeah, go ahead and.
So that's just a +1.
And it shrugs stuff off pretty well. So, warning you in advance. Yeah. So 3 against 2.
So can I use the incendiary bomb aspect?
Sure. Yeah, that would make it a hit.
I would like
if
that.
you wanted. So yeah. So that'll ends up doing. So with a weapon, it ends up doing 3 damage. Unless you wanted to spend another fate point somewhere to try to succeed with style with it.
So let's give that a shot, because this would be another. I think this might be a Gangster Child piece, where he's been put into terrible situations in the past where he's had to think on his feet and aim well or be killed. So I'm thinking that he would be using, even though it's a crazy-ass plant monster, with his degrees in biology, among other things, and his skills in the street, he would aim for a vulnerable spot.
Right. Yeah. There's not necessarily a vulnerable spot in this, but I don't know. You've got a lot of experience with putting things on fire. This is just like that time that you committed arson on your rival gang's factory. Okay, so give it on
just
fire.
like that.
Just like that. Yeah. They were growing weed.
So just mechanically, just to make sure we're on the same page on this. So mechanically, it doesn't mean it takes extra damage every round. What happens is, you get an aspect that you can use on it with a free invoke in this case. So you can use the fact that it's on fire against it to cause it more damage. In the meantime, though, it did. So that was trading that. So that's still 3 damage that it did, which does a lot to it. It's still staying up. Yeah, do that. Okay. All right. So yeah, you shot it. It kind of recoils. The whole thing recoils against you. Not right against you, but it recoils. And okay, that Louis O'Brien. I guess Louis went first last turn, so go ahead.
Does this thing look like? Does it look damaged now? Does it look?
I mean, it's not like it's not. It's still moving around and kind of doing all the same stuff that it's been doing. You've definitely heard it, but yeah, I mean, you haven't done anything that's gonna like make it looks like it's gonna like hurt its ability to fight in the future necessarily. You might have gotten really angry though.
I guess what I'm aiming at does this thing have something that looks like a central bit, not a tendril, but like a trunk or.
So I think what you're looking for is an advantage, right? And we didn't succeed well enough to create one. Is that about right?
Well, so mechanically, what you can do here is if you're wanting to try and find like some weak spot in it, you can spend the turn searching for that. That would be survival, the equivalent of notice.
Well, it's not a complicated thing. Basically, what I want to know is, does it have like a central bit, like a stalk, or something that looks like it's slightly more vital than a tendril?
I mean, the tendrils and tentacles and everything are all whatever vines are coming from the central spot. If you were to spend some extra time studying how it moves, perhaps you can figure out, that there's a vital spot there.
Okay, so it's just what we're seeing is just a mass of vines.
Right. Roughly the size of a car.
That would have been a good idea for me to try next turn.
Yeah, I mean, I've got +3 biology that might be useful for that.
If I can get a look at it, I'll try to make that lore roll. What frightened me about the other creatures was what I knew was coming, so
right.
I just have to get a sight of the thing.
Sure. So, I mean, you both have
I'm just going to do an investigate roll. I'm just going to see if there's like what Constantine is looking to do is he is winding up to the point where he draws his pentaxilat knives and launches himself at this thing, and he wants to know which bits of it would be best to launch himself at in order to do some damage.
And actually thinking about it, investigate's better than survival in this case. So yeah, that would be the better skill roll to take. But yeah, you can definitely make an investigate roll to try and find a weak spot or figure out what's going on with it. By the way, I will point out that just because we haven't dealt with this kind of a monster before, again, it has scale on you guys, so it is going to be really, really hard even if you find a weak spot. Well, if you find a weak spot, that would basically negate the scale. But you're still running into having to spend fate points to try and just kill it off. You may just as a friendly suggestion, you may want to use weapons that give you scale in the first place. For example, machine gun with burst.
Okay, well, I do have a Sten gun.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to tell you, like how to do it. I'm just saying that mechanically, even with even knowing, where the weak spot is, it's probably going to be hard for you to, um, you know.
Right. Oh well, I'm still going to look for the weak spot though,
Okay.
because then I'll be creating an advantage for everyone.
Yeah, sounds good. So yeah, go ahead and make an investigation roll. It's only against a +1.
Let's see. I think it was 3 that I was at. A minute. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's actually with style. So, all right. So you want to maybe describe the weak spot that you found?
Well, like Constantine watches this mass of writhing tentacles for a while, and he catches glimpses of basically the central stalk of the thing, which is kind of hidden in between all the movement. But he kind of spots what looks like a good place to aim at to hurt this thing.
All right. Okay. That'll work.
And he calls that out to the others immediately.
Right. Like, it's got a soft white underbelly. It's like Italy, only we haven't invaded Italy yet because it's only 1940.
Always kick it in the stalk.
Don't aim for the pink thing, aim for the stalk. Okay, Brian, what are you doing?
I will try to get in there one more time. If I can't get in there this way, I'll...
Yeah, you don't have to make an athletics roll this time. You've already made it the one, so you can get into the next room just fine. But what do you want to do once you get in?
Well, immediately I'm going to take a shot if I can.
Okay, so I think you've just got a regular rifle, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a rifle.
Yeah, so rifles don't have, sorry, I'm not thinking, scale, just to warn you.
But didn't we establish that the vulnerable spot?
Right, you can
scale?
use one of these invokes to get scale, basically.
Yeah, I was going to try to come up with my own and then use both. Is that possible?
Well, so yeah, mechanically, I mean, you can do two things in a round. There's a negative to do that. You can, if you want to go in and try and find another like weakness, weak spot on it or whatever,
Yes.
you are certainly free to do that.
I'm going to go ahead and use my lore roll.
Okay. Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a lore roll. This is a pretty obscure thing, so that's going to be probably like a +3 that you got to beat, which you did anyway. So, what do you think? What kind of thing do you think you found on it?
Well, this was the parent of, I'm guessing, whatever we saw before. So
You found the pink thing, obviously.
the pink thing, yeah.
Hello.
Hi,
Oh, hey,
Morvis.
Maury.
Hey, awesome.
Have to shoot the pink thing again, Morvis.
I get the pink thing?
Hey, cool.
Yeah.
So, damn it, get Revy in here, man. You did.
I'm trying. He's not responding.
Man, darn it. Oh well. Okay, so I'm the fact that Morvis is here though means that
He's a magician. There's a cloud of
You
smoke.
don't have
no,
to include me if you don't want to. I'll just listen.
oh no, I actually really want to include you, Morvis, because I've kind of been meaning to include you and Reverie for the past couple weeks in a thing. So rest assured, it'll be nice and tense for the other folks too while they're fighting for their lives. Okay, so all right, so blah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I know.
okay, so yeah.
I've been spending the whole afternoon with them outside. I'm ready to kill them.
Oh, wow.
Your mic's hot, sir.
Does
Maury,
that make us accomplices now?
Yeah,
Sorry, mute again.
Okay, so all right, so you did make that. So yeah, so I said you found basically two weak spots now: the
Okay,
amazing
well,
pink thing and the soft white underbelly. Okay.
Now that I know what it is, I'm going to shoot it in that underbelly pink thing.
Okay, so you can try to do that. It's going to be a -2 initially to the roll. So
Okay.
Because it's
and
your
I
second-
can go
your second
first
move this
before
turn.
adding- Yeah.
yeah, you would need to invoke one of these just to move out scale. So
Oh, well, I'll go ahead and invoke both of them. Is that?
Well, I mean, you can choose to do that. You generally, as you'll remember, you want to do that after you made the roll to see if there's any point in doing that. So you want to try and fire at it?
Firing.
Ooh, nice.
It's a good roll.
And
it's a tie anyway.
okay.
Okay. So you're using one of these invokes on, assuming you're using yours on the fact to get rid of scale, so you can actually make that tie. You'd have to spend another fate point in order to make a hit.
Okay.
Johnny, what are the nooks and crannies?
I believe that was back in the other room. It was either back in the other room or it was up. I think it might have been even up top. I don't remember per se. It wasn't this particular room though.
Okay, just trying to help.
No problem.
Yeah, I went ahead and I'm going to use Pennsylvania Mountain Jedi for my aim.
All right. That's okay. Yeah, that definitely works. Okay, so all right, so that gives you the +7. So you got the. So you beat the roll. You want to deal a card out there if you could.
I did.
Oh, you did. Oh, that's right. You had 4 going in. That's right. Haha. I should have known. Okay, so yeah, so that's 3 that you made it by. The creeper is. It looks like you have shot off a number of its. Well, it looks visibly hurt. I'll say that much.
Can I? Sorry, can Constantine can he invoke his aspect? The more balls I throw in the air, the better I look to squeeze off a burst with his stanners at this point.
Kind of already moved. I'll go ahead and allow it. Just this one time. But yeah, so you can do that. It's still going to be a -2 to hit though.
Okay, well, I'll have a go.
Right. Okay. All right. Darn it! Come on.
Oh, shitting out.
Yeah. Probably not going to hit that.
Let's see. That's the title of my sex tape.
My not sex tape.
So -2, right? On my roll.
Right.
No, that's an 8. Nothing.
All right. So you can spend 4 fate points to tie.
Yeah, no, this is not going to work, is it?
Right. Yeah, that might be kind of rough. So you squeeze off a shot, but it doesn't land. Okay. So all right. So now the this mother creeper is snaking out a bunch of those vines, similar to the ones that you saw that the family that you met at the farm had. But those are all kind of shooting out one at each of you. So Lazar, you want to make an athletics roll?
Those are my favorite rolls.
No, you're thinking of Arctic roll.
That is true. That is what I'm thinking of. Hey, I tied.
All right. So yeah. So you managed to dodge out of the way with just the. What was your character's little thing? Oh, that's right.
Character's little thing.
Whoa.
Little pink thing.
Shots fired.
Lazar whips his little thing out of the way just in time.
My secret weapon.
Stumbling. You're stumbling, bumbling. Your hat's no longer on fire, though. I need to get rid of that.
Oh, come on. Can it still kind of smolder? That would be kind of cool.
Is there a name for this thing?
Mama
call it
Creeper.
the Mama Creeper. It's a little thing up at the top. Okay, Brian. Yeah, you don't have to make that. Oh, oops, wrong one. Didn't have the 3. So it's actually 2 that you've got to beat with your athletics.
Okay.
Killian.
From the Mamas and the Creepers.
So yeah, wow, tied again. So you are also, so you tied that. Let's see, what was your character? Oh, that's right. You're the yeah. Okay, sorry. Just adding the boost on you because it tied. Let's see. Artem's already stumbling. Let's see. What? How slipped on some gore. That sounds good. Okay. All right. So then Louis. Ooh. Well.
Oh, shit.
Oh my God. That's a good roll.
Okay.
What?
The good news is it didn't hit you with that spore thing. It just hit you with the
Yeah.
yeah, that's a nice hit though. Okay, so that's right. Okay, that's right. All right, so yeah, so it tagged you unless you want to you're trying to spend a fate point or something to get out of that. That's actually going to would take 2 fate points to beat that off. So right now, you might even want to just spend one just to
That's what
to
she's...
mitigate the damage.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said, John?
So right now, it's beat you by 3, which means you're going to be taking a lot of damage here coming up.
I don't like
that.
that.
It's got little spikes, and little teeth inside of the vine.
I like it even less now.
Little sucker in the middle. It's like it looks kind of like a leech.
Oh, great. The teeth and the barbs weren't enough. You had to add a sucker.
Title of your sex tape.
Can bring yourself to believe for a moment. You can use that piece of paper I gave you.
Oh, yeah, there's a piece of paper.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the free.
I would use it, but I find it very hard to believe that my character would kind of dig that out of his coat pocket and go, no.
Right.
I have this.
So
You can't hit me.
And so you use the free boost on that already, so you can invoke that. You would just have to spend a fate point to do it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. Let's see.
So
Can I invoke anything that is already on?
sorry?
Oh, can I invoke something that is already on the Mama Creeper, one of those aspects?
What are you wanting to invoke? Just
Yeah, I'm having a think.
I mean, you can invoke any of your aspects. Anything that's on the table that you can figure out a way to invoke in your favor.
Right. Right. Let me just have a quick think. This thing is on fire. I notice it's soft white underbelly.
That's a good point. It's got the on fire thing.
And you said I would have to invoke 2 fate points to get away clean, yeah?
Right. Unless I then spend a fate point myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is a possibility.
Yeah, I can see that. But it would also mean that you would be out of fate points for now, so I'd be taking one for the team.
I will say that even spending 1 fate point to get it up to the 1 instead of 3 means that I think for you that's going to be the difference between having to take a consequence and just taking stress. But
right, so let me just have a quick peek at how much stress I already have, if any. I don't think I have any stress yet. So I may take some stress if I can figure out.
Yeah, so you've got your physique actually have a 1, so you actually have a 1, a 2, and a 3 box.
A 1 and a 2 and a 3. That's
Right.
the extent of my physique. Okay, I get it. Okay, what I'm going to do is, as this tendril, because it's a tendril, right, that's snaking out at Constantine.
Right.
Okay, as this tendril snakes out at him, he just, in a flash, his martial artist reflexes kick in. And in a flash, he notices that, this tendril has been, it's on fire. There's still kind of flames licking at it. And he noticed a bit that looks quite charred. So what he does as this thing flashes towards him is that he instinctively kicks out at specifically this charred looking, painful looking bit.
All right. So you're using the on fire.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the free one. Doesn't cost you a fate point. Okay. So that means you just only lose by 1 then.
Okay.
But did he also invoke his martial artist thing?
No, because there's not an aspect. That's just his skill. Although, can you invoke, because it is his fighting specialization, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't really invoke a specialization. You can invoke your your character concept, mercenary infiltrator. I don't know if you can get that to work with what you're doing, but you know.
Well, it would be quite a tenuous link, but
Right.
let me just really quick gather at this. Yeah, I'm just going to use the soft white underbelly thing, because he was studying this thing and he was paying attention to the way these tendrils move. So he's got quite a sense, kind of like a sense of how fast these things are and how hard they come at you.
Right, or maybe like as like another tendril's coming at you, like you fire off a round into the underbelly, and he just goes, Choo! Doesn't like actually do any damage,
well.
makes it kind of slide away. All right, so that's enough to do that. I'm not going to spend my last fate point, so I'll stick it with that. And then finally, Val. It's going to tendrilize you.
So I'm rolling athletics.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so beat you by by 2 points then. Are you going to spend your last fate point on anything, or invoke anything on the board?
I don't think there's anything on the board that I can use. Can I spend a fate point to try to dodge towards the pool of poison to see if I can at least get it hurt when it's trying to hurt me?
You can spend a fate point to use the pool of poison to add to your roll.
Okay, I will do that then.
Okay, so go ahead and spend
so
your.
if I do that, then that's a tie, or is that, do I actually dodge?
That would be a tie. So that means that you don't get damaged. You get a boost against you the way that Artem and Brian had.
And if I don't do it, then I take stress?
Yeah, 2 stress plus the 1 stress because it's a weapon. It's got the little sucker thing on it, so it's 3 stress total that you take.
Ouch.
Okay, well, I'll spend my point.
Okay. Okay, so that means that you are okay. So you got to figure out some other. Let's see. So okay, so Artem's Lazar's stumbling. Killian slipped on some gore. You dropped your weapon. You can still use it. It's just, it's a boost. All right. So Roderick, are you still there? Morvis?
So can I ask Johnny a
Yes?
question? So how close am I to the center mass of this thing, to the soft white underbelly?
Well, you're standing out, outside of the of the pool. Obviously, it's kind of in the middle of the pool. It's roughly the size of a car. It's 15 feet away, maybe. It's pretty close.
So I'm wondering if there's a narrative here that involves an unreliable incendiary weapon and overconfidence causing chaos, wherein the Ring of Fire Mark I might be ejected as it falls into the beast. I'm expecting that would have consequences to us, but it might have consequences to it too.
You can maybe come up with something on that when it is your turn again. I want to go to Artem. Oh, sorry. First, though, Roderick, Morvis, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, sorry. So in the grand tradition of these kinds of things, so you were back, if memory serves, you were back over in the pub.
That's correct.
Out. Yeah. So kind of wanting to get this going for some time. So, okay, so you're back in the pub. There's that old guy was out there kind of keeping tabs on you, but he fell asleep because that's what old people do. Anyway, so while he was asleep, there's like it's like later that evening, roughly the time that these guys are fighting these creepers. In fact, you see this group of 5 guys in uniforms walk in.
There's a lot of noise coming from your mic, Morvis.
Are you eating something? Maybe.
No, I muted it, but it's not working.
Oh, sorry. All right. So there's a group of what look to be soldiers walk into the bar and start to approach the bartender. What are you doing?
So if I was talking to the old man, then I'd just be like sitting down somewhere, hanging out, and kind of watching for them.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So they walk in. The office. The first guy walks in. He's like, "Good evening. We have reason to believe that a certain device was used in this particular area." You're welcome, Louis, for that accent, by the way. That wasn't Dutch. That was something else.
It was still
yeah.
awful. Right?
It would definitely sound German.
I'm taking offense on behalf of Germany.
Yeah. So this guy walks in. He's all, yes. What can you tell us? And then so the bartender's like, "Oh, I'm not going to say anything." They're just gonna make me do all the accents
No,
because
you
that's
don't
what it
have to
is.
do the accent. Okay, honest.
So anyway, so this guy is just like the bartender. If you'll recall, back when Louis was at him, Louis had him pretty well convinced that he was doing something special for the Queen, and so this guy's not saying that the King. That's right. Sorry, it was a king back then. That's right. Sorry. He wasn't. So this guy's not talking at all. So, the guy holds out like holds out a little globe with a little blue thing glowing in it, and the guy starts staring at it. He's like, "Oh my God, what is that? We have ways of making you talk."
Oh no, you
Oh my
didn't.
God, really?
So, are you doing anything, or?
There's 5 guys, right?
Yeah, there's a total of 5 of them. Yeah.
I'm not gonna be
There is
lynching 5 guys, that's for sure.
Yeah, so there is a group of 3 dudes. They just look like they've got the machine pistols. There's one guy who's carting a flamethrower, and then there's another
In
dude.
the bar.
Yeah, in the bar.
Wow.
And there is another dude, the dude who's holding the little globe. They don't. I mean, they don't seem to be. They're not. Really necessarily looking your way. I mean, there are 5.
They probably haven't even noticed me yet, and it would be a good time for me to kind of disappear into the shadows to make sure that they don't see me.
That sounds like a stealth roll, sir. So, do you want to go and make that stealth roll? Oh, darn! I don't have your character written down. Oh, there you go.
Fantastic.
Oh, yikes! That is yes. You only needed a +1. Didn't quite make it. You can spend a fate point to re-roll that. You just have to, give me a reason why you do it, like one of your aspects or whatever.
Yeah, well, there's 5 of them, and they have guns. I don't think I want to stick around for that.
Right. But like, I mean, you have. I don't have. I've got to load up.
I
your
do
character
have
sheet here.
a lot of training in stealth, and I have the stunt for Vanishing Act.
Right, but you'd want to, but for invoking, so being able to make that reroll or add points, you actually have to use an aspect. For example, your character idea or something like that. Sorry, I apologize.
What does Vanishing Act do?
They are definitely in uniform, you said?
Yes, they are in uniform. In fact,
Okay, so the distrusting of
do I have
authority figures really fits in there.
yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah, so yeah, you kind of stumble, but then you're like, oh man, I don't want to screw over, or I do want to screw over these stupid authority figures that I hate. I don't know.
Heavily armed Nazis show up in rural Yorkshire and go, "Oh, I hate authority."
These people think they have the authority to be Nazis. All right, yeah. So
So I can reroll.
Yeah, that works as a reroll. What was I looking
A little better.
for? Yeah, anything better than like a -2 is yeah, that'll work. Yeah, and that's enough to that is enough to get them to where, yeah. So you're back in the shadows. It counts as an aspect if you want to do anything with it, but yeah. Otherwise, so they're still talking with this guy. This guy like points the little orb at these dudes, at this guy. And wow, actually, that's not such a good roll, but it's good enough to the guy the bartender, that's the thing I'm looking for, seems very, very perturbed by that little globe, and kind of looking at it yourself, it does, it looks, yeah,
similar
like
to
the kind of thing that
taser?
you could. Yeah, I mean, it looks like actually, yeah, the color blue is like kind of exactly the same color as what's in the taser. Also, it's kind of hard to look away from it. Go ahead and make I think you want to make a sanity roll, because I'm about to give you more information than maybe you want to get necessarily. So go. It'll be an easy sanity roll to make. It's only +1, so that's will.
I'm not sure which dice that is.
It's still fate, but
Normal
just using
fate
the will.
or-
Do you have will? Do you have any points in will?
I don't know.
You have it written down in your sheet, or
No, I don't have anything written on my sheet.
crap. Where? Me. Sorry, I've got
Oh,
your
I do
character sheet.
have fair +2. Okay.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, sorry, it took a little while to load this up myself. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, +2. All right, so.
Wow, that's a heck of a roll.
Darn it, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Wow, yeah, that is such a good. Wow, that is like a, yeah, what is that, a 1 in 80 chance? That is such a good roll, in fact, that you don't even take a sanity hit, or any kind of like a temporary sanity hit. It is really, really hard to look away from it. Yeah, there's something wrong with like that element, whatever it is that you're looking at. You don't really necessarily have the vocabulary to say exactly what it is, but it's pretty bad. You've got a little bit of lore, so I mean it's something that maybe you can't put your finger on it, but there's a substance that you've heard of that is said to exist that does weird things with people's heads when they keep it around them for long enough, and this looks like it. So anyway, I'll go.
That sounds like cocaine.
That's what I was thinking.
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Like cocaine.